Om Namo Loe Sarvatakamurti Arya. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just bring my Namo commentary here.
Om Namo Arihantaram. Om Namo Siddharam. Om Namo Ayaniyanam. Om Namo Uvachayanam. Om Namo Loisaksamuram. ऐसो पंच नमोकारो सर्व पावकनाशनो मंगलाणं च सर्वेसी परमं हवै मंगलम्। Om Namo Arihantaram. Om Namo Siddharam. Om Namo Ayaniyanam. Om Namo Uvachayanam. Om Namo Loisaksamuram. ऐसो पंच नमोकारो सर्व पावकनाशनो मंगलाणं च सर्वेसी परमं हवै मंगलम्। परमं हवै मंगलम्। परमं हवै मंगलम्। चत्तारि मंगलम् चत्तारि मंगलम् अरिहन्ता मंगलम् अरिहन्ता मंगलम् सीता मंगलम् सीता मंगलम् साहु मंगलम् साहु मंगलम् केवली पन्नतो धम्मो मंगलम् केवली पन्नतो धम्मो मंगलम् मंगलम मंगलम अरिहंता मंगलम चत्तारि लोकुत्तमा चत्तारि लोकुत्तमा अरिहंता लोकुत्तमा अरिहंता लोकुत्तमा सीता लोकुत्तमा सीता लोकुत्तमा साहु लोकुत्तमा साहु लोकुत्तमा केवली पन्नतो बोलो बुद्धमो मंगलम मंगलम हरिहंता मंगलम 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 हरिहंता मंगलम चत्तारि शरणं अवज्जामि चत्तारि शरणं अवज्जामि अर्हन्ते शरणं पवज्जामि अर्हन्ते शरणं पवज्जामि सीते शरणं पवज्जामि सीते शरणं पवज्जामि साहु शरणं पवज्जामि साहु शरणं पवज्जामि केवली अन्नतं धम्मं शरणं पवज्जामि मङ्गलं मङ्गलं हरिहन्ता मङ्गलं 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 हरिहन्ता मङ्गलं 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 हरिहन्ता मङ्गलं 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 हरिहन्ता मङ्गलम्
Jai Jinendra, everybody.
Jirendra.
Okay.
अहो श्री
Okay, one
सतपुरुष के
second.
वचनामृत
All right. Okay. So today is July 24, 2020, Friday, and here we go again for our pathshala class. So today, we have to really talk very serious things, because this third chapter that we have started in dhala, it's really needs attention, needs proper understanding, and we will make sure that we all will understand properly and will work on it. And I'm confident that you guys are really strong and you will know it right way. So without further delay, I'll bring the slides and then we'll start talking from wherever we were left out from last time. We were, okay, let's see from here, partial point of view. Okay, all right, from here we'll start. So it will just connect what we are talking today also. Slideshow, current slide. What we talked last time, partial point of views, and that's a very important information to understand. What is partial point of view? As we said in the this previous slide, right? Not here, or here. For example, who am I? Am I a father, son, grandfather, grandson, husband, brother, uncle, nephew? Who am I actually? I am all.
Yeah.
I am everything. But it depends from which perspective you are talking. From my wife's perspective, I'm the husband. But my child's perspective, I'm the father. But I am a husband, I'm a brother, I'm uncle, I'm nephew, I'm grandson, I'm everything. But from which angle we are looking at it. So this is what is important, to know completely from all the angles, to know completely a real one entity from every angle, and then one point to make it principal, everything else becomes secondary. You know about me completely, but then when you're talking about my son, then I will be referred as a father. Doesn't mean that when I'm father, I can't be son. When I'm father, I can be grandfather too. When I'm father, I can be grandson also. So to know everything and then to pick up one thing to make it principal. For example, let's say that you guys are, let's see, whom am I going to pick it up? I'm going to pick up, is Ishan there? Ishan there, yeah. I say Ishan is a soccer player. Now, I know that Ishan, whose son he is, whose grandson he is, whose brother, whose friend he is, and all the thing I know it. But right now we are discussing about sports, and I say Ishan is he loves soccer, or Umed and Anand, they like to sing on Sunday or senior citizens classes. Now, when I say they like to sing, doesn't mean they only sing in their whole life. They do lots of other things. They play with their friends. They teach some people. They just learn from other people, and so on and so forth. So that's what we know is a partial point of view when we know completely about everybody, and then one point we make it kind of a predominant. So when from my wife's perspective, I'll be called husband, but at the same time, I'm somebody's brother, and all those entities are already there. So partial point of view means to pick up one reality and to make it predominant. Uh, where do I live? Where am I living? To answer that question, it depends who is asking question. Somebody from India is asking, where do you live? I live in USA. When I'm in USA and when I'm in New York, somebody says, where do you live? I live in Phoenix or Arizona. When I'm in Arizona, they say, where do you live? I live in Phoenix. When I'm in Phoenix, where do you live? I live in North Phoenix, and so on and so forth. So depend on who is asking question, and then you answer accordingly. You know, my neighbor or somebody living on my street, and he may say, where do you live? I live in USA. Then he's going to say, are you nuts? Do you understand what I'm talking? I'm standing on this street, 12th Street. I say, where do you live? So you should say, that house. I live in that house. You're supposed to say that. But in that, I say, hey, I live in USA. Then they say, you don't understand what I'm talking. Similarly, here in religion also, one has to know exactly where is the discussion, from what point the discussion is going. So that's what we should be knowing about it. So, for example, multiplicity point of view means a reality has multiple points to understand, right? Just like I am brother, I'm a son, I'm grandson, grandpa, and husband, etc. Multiplicity, I have multiple viewpoint in me. Similarly, in the soul, when we are going the soul, now our principal object is soul. So we talk from the soul perspective. Is soul eternal or soul transient? Then you
Depends on perspective.
perspective. What perspective you're asking from? Are you talking from eternity perspective, or are you talking from transiency perspective? Eternity perspective, I am existing forever. So from substance perspective, I exist forever. That's my perspective. But I also have changes occurring within me. I become angry. I have deceitful nature sometimes. I have an ego sometimes. I have a greed sometimes. I have an inclination of attachment sometimes. I have an inclination of aversion sometimes. And so many things could be there, but they're transient in nature. I cannot be having anger forever. And so it's called transiency in nature. So are you if you're talking from anger, etc., are you talking from transiency perspective? Yes, then soul is transient. Means soul having anger is a transient state. But wait a second. I'm talking to you, universe is forever, and so, oh, then soul is eternal. Make up your mind. Is soul eternal or soul transient? Then you can say, make up your mind what perspective you want it. So perspective is the key in Jainism. And very, very, very few or practically none, this perspective business is used in any philosophy. So Jainism becomes a strong, strong thing that way, that they go on perspective and they tell us that what is the right thing to do. Because what am I talking? And that's where we have to say, we have to give the answer. Now, having said that, let's see furthermore. So partial point of view is pick up only one aspect of the reality. Over here, multiple point of view means complete angle, completely known object. Over here now, we are taking one view only. So there could be 2 points, absolute point of view and partial point of view. Now, what is absolute point of view? What's a partial point, what's a conventional point of view? We have to have pretty good understanding. You know, lots of adults also, they get confused between these two words and they mixing up so much, and then they say, ah, this is too much, I don't understand, this Jainism is too complicated. It's not complicated if you understand properly. Absolute point of view means to consider reality as it is. To consider reality as it is. For example, Anand can say, Umed is my brother. Is it reality or not? They are brothers, right?
Reality.
Yeah, so you are a brother. So that's a reality. But now Umed said that, you know, Aditya is like my brother. Now, is Aditya really the brother of Umed? No, but he is like my brother. So he's mixing up his brother's business of brotherhood with somebody else who is actually not his brother. So to mix up thing, to know a thing by mixing up, Aditya is considered my brother, you know. He's more than my brother. But actually, he's not your brother. So to consider two things separate and to consider as one, that's called conventional point of view. Once again, two separate entity to consider as one, and that is called conventional point of view. Whose phone is this right now? Is it Anand's phone, Umed's phone, and Ishan's phone? Adit, whose phone is this right now? It's my phone, my phone. But to say this is my phone means I am the soul and this phone is a matter. I put my ownership on this one and say this is my phone. Means
So,
I mix both things together, and that's called conventional point of view. This has to be absolutely clear in our mind. Conventional point of view is not the reality, but to consider as good as reality. This one is this one for you it doesn't make difference whose phone is this because it's not yours, so you don't care about it. I say this is my phone. I am the soul. I am the soul. Phone is mine, so I have my ownership on it. That's
what
called conventional point of view.
wouldn't it be the like conventional point for every like for Anand and Umed's example, that's also conventional point because they're not really brothers.
You are absolutely right because they two are different souls. So remember from what perspective we are talking. We are putting perspective as a brothers, having brother. Brother is a perspective. Then Anand Umed are brother, and Umed and Aditya are not brothers. They could be like brothers, but they are not brother. So perspective was brother at the time. But now you can just say, Anand Ume, how can you say they are brother? They're two different souls. So two different souls to consider as brother, that is also conventional point of view, because which perspective you are using? Two separate soul perspective you are using. And so soul is a perspective. So they are two separate souls and they are brothers. Means they are just being called together. Two separate things to consider as one is called conventional point of view. And it's always relative in nature. You raise absolutely beautiful point. Anand and Umed, are they really brother? Because they are two souls. Two souls to consider as brother means one. That is conventional point of view. Over there is a soul's perspective we use. But between Umed and Aditya, quote unquote, just like brother, that means Anand and Umed are really brother, but those two are separate entity. So use what perspective we are using, from
Okay.
what point we are using that one. And that's a really a great point you raised. So that's very good. So again, partial point of view always uses the relativity. Relativity means this is my piece of paper, or this is my book. Okay. Is this your book? No. Is it my book? Yeah. So my book, book perspective, if it's a book, then it belongs to me. It doesn't belong to you. But again, this book is a matter and I'm the soul. So they are separate. So how can this book be mine? So we have to use perspective. What is the basis that you are using for comparison? So that's, she's my mother. Well, she's just more than my mother. They said that there's another lady and she's more than my mother. We use mother as a perspective. So I am the daughter, I'm the son, so she's my mother. But some other lady, she showers lots of love on me. She's like my mother, she's more than my mother. That will be a conventional point of view. So one has to have absolute clarity. So soul has a knowledge mode, knowledge attribute. That's a reality. Soul has a knowledge attribute. But I am Kirit Gosalia, mixing soul and matter, two things. To mix it up, that's what conventional point of view. Let me give you an example. I have a strong eyesight. What will you put that one? Conventional point of view or absolute point of view?
Oh, it's hard to say because there's like we kind of bleed over to each other, you know. Like sometimes like you say, oh, brothers absolute, but then you know the difference between absolute and is that, and my brother keeps on muting me for some reason. So the difference between absolute and conventional points of view is like absolute is just like it's one. It's like practical is like what you're thinking about as you're living on this earth, right? Like because you're living on this earth, sometimes it's harder to sort of consider everything from the absolute like soul point of view. And that's like the conventional point of view, and that's when you're sort of like not fully aware of everything, and you're not like in motion stuff. So you have the conventional point of view, but that absolute point of view is like absolutely on the soul, nothing else, like all of that stuff.
Okay. Anybody else wants to give suggestions?
It's perspective.
My eyesight is strong. That sentence is a conventional point of view or absolute point of view, and give your reasoning.
It's
conventional point of view because you're speaking from your body's perspective.
Yes.
But I think it's based on what you think. I mean, what point you're talking from. Because if it's like absolute point of view, it actually could be you really have strong eyesight, but in reality, your soul and like your eyesight's not yours, and you're the soul. So
Very good. See, this kind of thought process has to be in the mind. Now, when I say my eyesight is weak or strong, I can say that, but I had to have pretty good idea as you suggested that I am the soul. Soul has no eyes. The eyes are the matter substance. For example, I'm very healthy, strong man. I'm very healthy, strong man. Could it be conventional or absolute, and why?
Conventional, because you're saying that I am strong man, and that's not from the soul point of view. That's saying talking about your body, and you're saying that you are the body. So that's conventional.
That's beautiful. That has to be the understanding. So I can now I can ask anybody else. You guys, two of you answered, and Vama answered. Now I can ask either of the Aditya that my ears are getting weak and I can't hear well. With that sentence, conventional point of view or absolute point of view? One of the Adityas can, yeah, go ahead.
Conventional, right? Because you're mixing up your ear with like saying that it's yours,
And who is me?
the soul.
I am the soul. So even though, I go to a doctor right now and I say, I can't hear very well. And doctor does testing and everything and say, oh, you have deafness and you need a hearing machine, for example. Yes, all those things, but at the same time, I have to be aware of it that I am the soul and hearing is from the ears, and ears are matter object. So they are separate. So I'm making a statement from conventional point of view.
but wouldn't everything be from conventional point of view?
Now, yes, it's a very important question. When we day-to-day running of our life, let's say somebody says to you, hey, what's your name? My name is Vama Gandhi. Now, if you say Vama Gandhi, then they know that she is not Achla, she is Achla's sister Vama, and that's it. But when the person is asking question and when you're answering question, especially when you're answering question, you have to have pretty good idea. I am the soul, and Vama is a name given to this physical body, but right now, just to separate from Achla, I can be called as Vama. That's it. So back of the mind, that idea has to be there. When I'm in India, they said, where are you from? I'm from US. At that time, I should be aware of it that in US, I live in Arizona, in Phoenix, on North Phoenix, on 12th Street, on 14853 North 12th. So I should have all those idea, and then I make one sentence predominant just to continue the day-to-day business going on.
So shouldn't it be called perspective? Since there's two different, it's always going to be absolute and conventional.
Everything will have absolute and conventional. Yes, you are right. Because as we said, for example, that Anand and Umed are real brothers, and Umed and Aditya, they are like brothers. So now Anand and Umed are really brothers. It means absolute point of view, because they the Umed and Aditya are not brothers, really brothers. So that's one person. But then looking at Anand Umed, they are two different souls. So how can they be together? So they are separate soul. So everything you can dissect, whatever you can keep on going. Now you said, so Anand and Umed are separate because they are separate entities. Now you come to Anand. Hey, Anand, this is Anand. Yeah, this is Anand, but he is a physical body. In Vedic and physical body, that's given name Anand, but he is the eternal soul residing inside. So now you just go dissect further down, further down. So, a convention point of view, absolute point of view, they can be dissected all, excuse me, all the way to the eternal soul perspective. You can keep on coming from a coarser point of view to finer point of view and keep on analyzing absolute point of view, conventional point of view, absolute point of view, conventional point of view, like that. So, you know, you are right that every entity can have two sides, absolute point of view and conventional point of view. We have to understand from which perspective the questioner is asking question to us. So we have to have that pretty idea within us, you know. So that's what it is, right? Okay. Any other questions so far? Because this very intelligent discussion we have it, that you guys are raising beautiful points. Everything can be seen from two different angles. Anand Umed are brother because Umed and Aditya are not brother. Anand Umed are brothers? No, because they are two separate entities. Anand is Anand? No, Anand is not Anand. Anand name is given to the physical body, but soul residing within is a separate. So you can keep on coming deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. That's called discriminative science. Ved Gnan means separation from the other entity. You have to see to understand, because remember 3 or 4 classes back, one of the question came, how can I realize my soul? So realizing soul is called samyak darshan. How can I do that? Then I have to find it out, that this is my house. I have to just separate. I have to create attitude in my mind that I'm separate from the house. Then I'm the physical body. I have to separate myself from this physical body. I have material karma bonded to me. I have to separate from that. And so keep on separation, 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 separation. Ultimately, you come to eternal soul, and that is called experiencing of the soul. Right? So partial point of views are that's a basis for Jainism. That's a basic principle for Jainism, because if you don't understand this part, then one can go confused. On one side, you are saying Anand Umed are real brothers, absolute point of view. And next sentence you say, no, 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 they are two separate, so they are not their conventional point of view. What perspective you are using in that sentence, that counts. So one thing can be called absolute point of view. From other perspective, it could be called conventional point of view. Anand Umed are brothers. From Aditya's perspective, they are brothers, absolute point of view. But Anand Umed, they're two separate entities, so they are conventional point of view because they're two separate entities. So we have to think that way. We have to make that mind go accordingly. And that's what this third dhala is about, explaining to us about absolute point of view and conventional point of view. And if we have to have pretty good idea where we are and what's the things. For example, let's say, I think example is coming now. Well, here, okay. This figure is very, we know this figure because if I'm not in deluding state, then this fruition karma bondage and all these things, they start falling down, and I just experience my eternal soul substance. So those things we already talked about it. So now he is my brother, absolute point of view. He is like my brother, conventional point of view, as we discussed just now.
Mhm.
So yes, go ahead. Question?
No, I was just agreeing to what you said.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So now the one which is true, it's called absolute point of view. One which is not true is called conventional point of view. So for example, now Anand Umed, for second we take the same example, that Anand Umed, they are brothers. So are they really brothers? Is it true? Yes, because Umed and Aditya are like brothers, but they are not brothers. So if we talk brother perspective, then this is true absolute point of view. The Aditya, I mean Umed, Aditya, not true, so convention point of view. They both have importance in the life, remember. But we have to have idea about both the things. If we have idea about only one thing, then it will be wrong. We have to know both the things. If you are in the if you're in a lake, you're sitting in a boat, and you want to go boat straight down. So what do you have to do? Both the paddle, you have to use it, and then boat can go straight up. Only if you're using one paddle only, then boat will go one way. If you put other paddle only, boat will go other way, and you won't go nowhere. So these are two paddles that we have to use it to have the boat go straight across. There was a short story that, that the 3, 4 friends were at night time, they drank alcohol, they were drunk, and then they sat down in one of the boat. There was some boat was there in the lake. So they sat down and they say, okay, let's go for the whole lake. We can go on the other side of the lake. And they started paddling and paddling and paddling and paddling throughout the night. First thing in the morning, they found out that they are the same spot. This is where the boat was moving because they were paddling only on one side. So boat was going clockwise. So they did not go nowhere. To go somewhere, you have to use both the paddles. Anand Umed, they are brothers, and Umed and Aditya are like brothers. You have to understand both the perspective, then you understand the reality. This is a crude example we are giving, but soul is eternal. That's an absolute point of view. Soul is a transient from conventional point of view. So we have to understand both. If we know both the things, then we understand Jain philosophy. Jain philosophy is very microscopic. And if we don't understand, if you don't know this part, you go nowhere. Yes, you can do as much austerity. You can do fasting every day. You can do one time a day eating and all the thing. And you can go temple and you can do worshiping and all the thing. But as long as you have no idea about these two guys, then we are going nowhere. So that's why we have to understand who am I, what's my real nature. So now let's see, let's go further into it. Soul went into deluding state, altered state by itself. Now here, what's happening here? Over here, okay. So soul went to deluding state, right? I end up doing anger, deceit, ego, greed, likes, dislike, ignorance, all those things I did, right? And what was present on the other side? Fruition of karma was present there. Now, fruition of karma was present as an instrumental cause only. And this was the primary cause. So if you just say deluding state occurred, anger, deceit, ego, greed occurred to me. And simple thing we can just say, I become angry today because you were bothering me. But this guy is simply fruition of karma. It's an instrumental cause. You went into angry state. Primarily, you went to angry state because of your own problem. And then whatever instrumental cause was present, you started blaming that one. So this is a practical implication here. If I'm angry, I'm depressed, I'm frustrated, I'm greedy, and I have deceitfulness. All those things are because of me. I am the reason. I have to start taking that charge within me. I am the problem. So here, what we can say here, now, I went to deluding state by myself, and to believe that I went to deluding state because of my own. This was I am the reason. Then it's called absolute point of view. Absolute point of view. Whole thing is happening. The fruition of karma is there. New karma bondage is there, and all those things. But I went to deluding state. Anger, deceit, ego, greed, likes, dislike, ignorance. I went by myself. I am the reason. I am the reason. I am the reason. That's the absolute point of view. But just to say that, you know what? I went to deluding state because there was a fruition of karma. This fruition of karma made me become angry. Then it's called conventional point of view. To believe that a deluding state occurred because of me is an absolute point of view. But it because of fruition of karma is conventional point of view. Now, we can just take one example of, let's take one example here. Okay, here, let's see here. This little video clip, we have it. Okay, what's happening here? Once again, let's play again. Come on. Now, there's a banana peel and I'm falling down. What's the reason here? My fall occurred because of what? My fall occurred because of what? Because of, I'm sorry? Go ahead.
It happens, the reason that happened is because that person attempted something very dumb.
So who is responsible here?
The soul who thought.
The person. In this picture, the person who was unattentive, and he puts foot on the banana peel and he falls down. And what does he say? Oh, I fell down because of banana peel on the, who put this banana peel over here? So is it saying right thing? You may just go and say, tap his shoulder and say, hey buddy, banana peel was there. I didn't fall down. You fell down because you were unattentive. Take a charge. You are the problem. You are the reason. You cannot blame it to banana peel. You are the reason. You can't blame it to fruition of karma. You are the reason. You did anger, deceit, ego, greed. You cannot blame it to the fruition of karma. You cannot blame it to your mother, father, brother, sister, whatever. That thing happened because of you only. To extend further, let's say that you this semester you got in some subject you got less grade. Well, the teacher is not good. Is the teacher to be blamed? Who is to be blamed? Same teacher is teaching and other kids, they got A plus and I got a C minus or God knows whatever. Who is responsible here? Is the teacher's fault?
You, because you were the one taking the test.
Yeah. So you have, so these are what we are talking, they have practical implication that tomorrow I have something negative happen to me. My mom is always there to just bug me all the time. Why does your mom has to bug you? Because there's a fault within you. And that's why she is bugging you. And now you just blame her all the time. My mom is always. No, it's not always. She loves you most. But whenever she sees fault in you, she cares for you. So she just directs you to to go away from those faults. So mom is not bugging you. Mom is helping you so that in the future it doesn't happen to you same thing. So these are the things we have to understand properly. Just after the class is over, sit down 5 minutes in your mind and just say, whom did I blame for my problems today? And then you will find out the problem was you. Problem was not your mother. Problem was not your friend. Problem was not this and that and everything. Problem is you. You're watching a movie and internet goes down, whatever reason. God, you start cursing that internet. But what's wrong? Internet is a matter object. It just went away. Internet didn't realize that you wanted to watch movie and internet says, oh, I can't go down right now because that guy is watching movie. It happens. Accept it. When something derogatory thing happens to you, accept it. Number one. And then try to rectify that problem. So time is there. I just want to go through one slide quickly. When soul is having altered state, there is fruition of karma, right? That's what we saw it in the previous slide here. Altered state, then fruition of karma is there, right? So soul goes into altered state by itself. I am the reason going into altered state, anger, deceit, ego, greed, etc. Karma are in the fruition by itself. Karma are poor karma. They have nothing doing with you. You went into altered state by yourself. They are merely present to say that you are in the altered state. One considers soul as altered state due to karma. And if one says that I have altered state because of karma fruition, he is absolutely wrong. Because karma and soul both be mixed is a conventional point of view. So you want to say karma are the problem, but that's a conventional point of view. Reality is I went to the altered state by myself. This is an absolute point of view. Absolute point of view. And this is conventional point of view. Conventional point of view. Yeah. So we have to have this idea really sit properly in our mind. This is the basic. And as I said, this is not abstract. It just gives day-to-day life also. Day-to-day what we do in our life, it just teaches us that way too. So this is not purely abstract thing you are learning in Jainism. If something goes wrong, I have to just find it out, where was I at fault? Start with that idea. Then life will become much easier. Frustration will not be there. So don't worry about it. I want to go to this college only, this school only. If it doesn't happen, don't worry, because there's something meant to happen, different things meant to happen. So don't start blaming everybody. Don't get frustrated. That's what it tries to tell us. Any questions so far? We went about 5 minutes about. Yes. Any other questions? Anybody else has it?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. That's very good. Thank you very much. And so we will do the closing over here, and we may have Aditya Shah do the Namoka mantra today. Aditya. Or Vama, you want to do that? Maybe he's.
Oh, sure. Namo Rihantanam. Namo Setanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Jaya. Namo Saham. Just say that.
Yeah, it's okay. Very good. Thank you, Jai Jinendra. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Bye.
Jai Jinandra.
Bye, Jai
Bye,
Jinendra.
Jai
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye bye. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinandra.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Jai Jinendra.